there's folks who are defending. They're finally defending some of our reporters that face off with Donald Trump, because we know too many of them are too afraid to, and maybe this is the reason why.
With respect to Bill Clinton, with respect to the head of Harvard, with respect to all of those people that he knew, including J.P. Morgan chairs.
Sir,
Yeah,
if
Jennifer,
there's nothing incriminating in the file, sir, why not?
Quiet.
On Venezuela, sir, you've had a lot of meetings on Venezuela.
It was the quiet piggy that was heard around the world, apparently, as he attacked that reporter, Catherine Lucy, for asking a question about the Epstein situation. Again, he's stressed the fuck out. He doesn't know what to do anymore, so he's lashing out. As we always heard that he lashes out. Other day, he said his voice was hoarse from screaming about trade deals, when actually it was screaming about how people haven't protected him from himself all that much.
I was shouting at people because they were stupid about something having to do with trade in a country, and I straightened it out. But I blew my stack at these people.
But he decided to call her Piggy. He calls a lot of people names, but it's quiet. Hush, shush, Piggy. And finally, some folks have had enough. So obviously, since folks were getting upset about it, Vaughn Hilliard then quoted, as he said, this White House official told MS Now News, they said, this reporter behaved in an inappropriate and unprofessional way towards her colleagues on the plane. If you're going to give it, you have to be able to take. What's he talking about? Who's that White House official? First, they didn't name them there. But apparently the reporter was being unprofessional towards her colleagues when the president of the United States rejected her follow-up question to a question he didn't answer in the first place, and to call her Piggy, that's not unprofessional at all. It's not inappropriate and it's not unprofessional, but apparently a reporter is inappropriate and unprofessional for asking him the questions. You see how upside down world works in fascist regimes? They also need water carriers in their fascist regime. So in comes Representative Salazar here.
You're a former journalist. You have interviewed past presidents. You interviewed Bill Clinton, George W. Bush. I was really curious in your response when I saw this clip of President Trump snapping at a female reporter asking questions about Epstein. This happened a few days ago on Air Force One before President Trump reversed his stance on releasing the Epstein files. But the reporter says, if there's nothing incriminating in the files, sir, why not take? And he says, quiet, Piggy. What was your response to that?
You know, President Trump is a very picturesque and difficult and different type of politician. But I always say that I look at his policies and not at his personality. No one is perfect. Those who are perfect are in heaven. That's why I am saying to him, because you have that personality and you have that fortitude and you dare to do things that other people do not dare to do, you are the guy who needs to fix immigration for this country for the benefit of the average American worker and for the economy. If immigration is not fixed by him, it will take another 40 years for a Democrat, for a Republican to dare to do it. So that's why it just gave me the perfect platform to say to him, you are the guy. You dare to do things that others don't. Dare to fix immigration.
What? So it's Maria Salazar. Wait, what does that mean? What is she talking about? I mean, all she said was that Donald Trump is a picturesque, difficult, and I guess a brash politician that, sometimes likes to call people names, and nobody's perfect. But I want to use this platform to then talk about him fixing immigration. I thought it was already fixed. I thought this mass deportation policy where they're sweeping people off the street and pointing guns in American citizens' faces and detaining people for unknown amounts of time in places that no one knows where they are. I thought that was fixing the immigration system. But Representative Salazar is okay with him attacking reporters and calling them Piggy, among other things. This is not like the only time he's done this. But because he needs him to do something about the immigration situation. It seems like she's just making shit up. But like I said, this isn't the first time, and it definitely isn't going to be the last time that Donald Trump lashes out at reporters, specifically female reporters, that ask him questions, like normal things. Here's several minutes, you guys. Here, a few minutes. Let's cut to that. A few minutes of him being the guy that somehow people are surprised by right now.
Will you let me finish my statement? You are the worst. You're with Bloomberg, right? You are the worst. I don't know why they even have you.
Quiet.
say that, darling. That's fake news.
Well, why
I
leave
don't
the
go to
Department
war.
of Defense?
Listen, be quiet. Listen. You don't listen. You never listen. That's why you're second rate.
What he did, well, you don't know much about crypto. You know nothing about nothing. You fake news. But let me
Do it now.
You know, it's not the question that I mind. It's your attitude. I think you are a terrible reporter. It's the way you ask these questions. You start off with a man who's highly respected, asking him a horrible, insubordinate, and just a terrible question. And you could even ask that same exact question nicely. You're all psyched up. Somebody psychs you over at ABC. You're going to psych. You're a terrible person and a terrible reporter. Oh, fake news, CNN?
Here, I'll hold it.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Wait till you hear this question.
Thank you, sir.
You should really say how great. Who are you with?
And the same to you, Mr. President.
No, who are you with?
I'm with ABC News, sir.
You with who?
ABC News, sir.
Fake news. ABC fake news. One of the worst. One of the worst in the business. But I'll answer you.
Official White House account to have it go out on that particular
Give me a
channel.
break. It was just somebody did it in fun. It's fine. Have to have a little fun, don't you? Who are you with?
Politico, Dasha Burns, sir.
Dasha Politico. Politico's gone bad. They've been so wrong about everything. Politico. Politico has been so wrong about everything. Let's get somebody else to ask some questions. You mind? Is that all right?
As a personal gift to you, why not leave it behind?
You're ABC fake news, right?
Why not?
It's only ABC. Well, a few of you would. Let me tell you, you should be embarrassed asking that question. They're giving us a free jet. But he knew nothing about it, and we can leave it at that. You don't have to embarrass our guest by asking a question like that. Well, I haven't heard that. You're telling me. Who are you with? Who are you with?
I'm with NBC News, sir.
Fake news. NBC. You're fake news. What a NBC's gone down the tubes along with most of the rest. I think the license should be taken away from ABC because your news is so fake and it's so wrong. And we have a great commissioner, the chairman, who should look at that, because I think when you come in and when you're 97% negative to Trump and
Medical professionals have warned for decades.
I said, not you. You're CNN. You're fake news. Go ahead. Proud you, especially you, should be proud of those pilots, and you shouldn't be trying to demean them.
No, there's
those
a difference,
pilots
sir,
flew
between asking
at
about
great
an assessment
risk, a
and
big
the
chance that
skill
they'd
of
never
the
come
US
back home and see their
one
husbands
is
or their
questioning the
wives.
skill
Let
of
me
the
just tell you,
military.
you and NBC fake news, which is one of the worst, and CNN, New York Times are all bad. They're sick. There's something wrong with them. But you know what? You should be praising those people instead of who are you with?
CNN. There's a split,
Fake
though.
news. Fortunately, nobody watches.
But my question
Is anybody watching CNN nowadays? I haven't seen it in a long time.
But some of your supporters are wary of the U.S. getting involved in another foreign war, and some believe that we should support.
Do you ever ask a positive question at CNN? No, I didn't know. I mean, I would figure it was ABC fake news that would ask that question. One of the worst.
I'm the travel pool, but I'm with NBC News.
NBC fake news. NBC's one of the worst. What else do you have?
More files? Is that the case?
Well, I don't want to talk about it because fake news like you're a terrible reporter, and fake news like you, they just keep.
That was damn near 4 minutes. 4 minutes of this guy berating female reporters that are asking him very basic, very normal questions about everything that's happening right in front of him by his own, from him, that originates from him. Things that he has to answer for that he did. And he's consistently, you heard the same theme. Who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Fake news, fake news, fake news. You're the worst. You're the worst. You're the worst. Your license should be taken away. Your license should be taken away. You guys are really falling off. Nobody watches you. Oh my God, shut the up, bro. What a baby. What a little bitch. What a little nobody. This guy is afraid of talking to people and having to answer for his problems, for the things that he did. Zero lack of accountability or responsibility for anything that he's ever done. Instead, it's everybody's fake news. There's a point, and I feel like we're reaching it finally, because the guy doesn't shut up. He says the same thing over and over and over again and expects people to believe it. And at first they did, because like, oh, look at dumbass Donald Trump. He's so funny. He's a real one. But he says the same thing over and over again. He keeps saying it, and he thinks that it's going to somehow be effective because he keeps insulting people and telling them that they don't deserve to be here because he's not a dictatorial fascist. No, not at all. Not at all. So some folks decide to come out in support of this latest reporter that's got this kind of insults from Donald Trump. Gretchen Carlson went in hardcore, former Fox News anchor. She said, President Trump calling the reporter Miss Piggy is disgusting and degrading. It strikes at the core for me since I faced similar shame. One of my Miss America celeb judges, William Goldman, wrote an entire book calling me, quote, Miss Piggy, saying I had been too fat to win. And she said she was only 105 pounds. Well, as we know, that's how misogynists work, and that's this approach that it always has been. And Gretchen Carlson faced that head on, and I think it was a big part of her break from Fox News. In fact, it was the entire part of her break from Fox News. She wasn't even done. She followed up and said Trump is despicable towards female reporters, just now ridiculing the White House ABC reporter, calling her a terrible reporter, and now saying ABC's license should be taken away because they're fake news. What the country do we live in right now? The country where Donald Trump ran and campaigned on saying the same things. Let's stop acting like he wasn't calling people fake news and degrading people and calling folks nicknames. And we were all saying, oh, it's so funny. Donald Trump is joking all the time. Donald Trump is the biggest troll ever. Isn't he funny as he calls people names and threatens them? Isn't that great? He's not really going to do all that stuff. So the country we live in is the one that he threatened to make it. Last one, because she was also defending Mary Bruce. She said, please know, Mary Kay Bruce, that there is an army of men and women supporting you for asking normal questions of the President of the United States. Epstein file questions, which he had answered yesterday. But today, he's back to being a madman, calling you terrible and ABC fake news. Stand strong. I'm sure Mary Bruce appreciates it. Folks have come out. I don't think this is going to change his behavior at all. Matter of fact, it's going to dig in his heels a little bit more to call more people fake news and I can't believe it and where you from. There's a bunch of folks. Caitlin Collins said, my colleagues at the White House press corps, Mary Bruce and Catherine Lucy, both do a great job. Peter Baker from the New York Times said, it may be repeating the obvious, but Mary Bruce is a first-rate reporter. In the face of a presidential tirade aimed at silencing her, she calmly and professionally showed why a free, independent media remains essential, asking questions that powerful people don't want to answer. Listen, I'm reading from an entire article of about 100 people that are fellow journalists backing up their fellow journalists, Mary Bruce, Catherine Lucy, because this has boiled over. Here, Terry Moran said Mary Bruce is the best in response to that, as they showed again. Carl Quintanilla, calling the ABC reporter's question insubordinate, explains everything about how Trump sees press freedom. And on and on and on. There was many, many more.